Ethereum this morning. Let's bring in Gilbert Joekpata now, financial market analyst, to bring us up to speed. Hello, Gilbert.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Gilbert. And obviously, still about FTX. We saw that Sam Bankman-Fried, the former CEO, has been arrested in the Bahamas. What do you think happens next?
Well, there have been people in the industry doing the right things long before even Sam Bankman-Fried got into the crypto industry. Unfortunately, once in a while, we'll always have bad actors who will come into the space, but the market dynamic has its way of exposing these bad actors. And this is actually a marathon and not a sprint. Trust is something that is built over time. It is those who will still be here in the space in the next 20 to 50 years from now that is going to matter. And the industry actually called for his arrest. So now we have it. So I hope this sends a strong warning to entrepreneurs of centralized exchanges and wallets that the eyes of the law is watching. Meanwhile, I still see a possibility of conflict of interest between the Bahamian government and that of the US because he has also gone against certain laws of the of Bahamas. So the understanding I have is since the Bahamas have a good diplomatic relationship between them and the US, they may still come into an edge that they will decide what is best for him. But right now, there are already charges that have been placed in the US against Sam Bankman-Fried. So it's about time he faced the consequences for his actions.
Yeah, and obviously it still looks like, users with trapped funds on the exchange might not be getting their funds back, even though he's been arrested at this point.
I think there are certain jurisdiction or region that may possibly get theirs. Like there were decisions that in the US was still solvent. So I think even Japan was solvent. It was based on certain advice he had that he should file for bankruptcy. He never knew the implication of filing for that meant that he was going to close withdrawals. So I think certain regions, and when we're talking about region, we are talking about governments of the world that cares about their citizens and what they are doing in certain industries that I think are going to press to make sure they have their fund back, except for regions that don't really care about their citizens or whatsoever is really happening that may become the sacrificial pig for an outcome like this.
Right, and obviously we're expecting that CPI data for the US today. What are you seeing happening with the market?
Well, I think this is one of the most important numbers. We have looked at a whole lot of numbers of data recently, but this is the most important because it's going to validate the Fed's next course of action. Why I personally expect inflation to slow, it should slow maybe to a possible 7.3% or less from 7.7 of the previous month. And if this is the case, this is actually more of a catalyst for a more moderate rate increase tomorrow. The Fed chair has already suggested that we could have a more moderate rate. And there is a survey that already shows a 78% likelihood of rate increase to 50 basis points, while 22% only still think we will still be at 75 basis points. However, today's number is going to validate the outcome of tomorrow's decision. And if this is the case, I think, it's usual. People see this as good news. We are going to have a short-term rally or euphoria with price just as a way to celebrate that we are seeing more slow rate hike afterwards.
All right, I guess all eyes on the Fed tomorrow. Is it going to be 50 or 75 basis points? Watch out for that. Thank you so much, Gilbert Joekpata, financial market analyst.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's flip over to the markets now. We see top odds by market cap, though. We see BNB, the biggest downer this morning, $263, losing that $300 mark, down 6.48%. They do have we've got that news about an alleged investigation by the U.S. government there for the Binance exchange. We're watching out for how that works out, but it has impacted the BNB price this morning. We see TON leading the top gainers counter up 11.68%, the only double-digit gain we have this morning. We see GMX also on that counter. We see PancakeSwap down 5.91%, and TWT there down a big 15.98%. percent this morning. All right, that's how the market's looking for